Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back with me again, Fatayla Ahmad Rauf from class 15 1A 26 with student ID code number 15250279. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about my opinion about smoking in campus area. Alright. So who would be so foolish as to do that? In my opinion, smoking on campus shouldn't be allowed. Why? Before that, I explain what smoking is and how dangerous it is for ourselves and others. According to Cleveland Clinic, smoking is a process of inhaling and exhaling smoke from burning plants rolled into a cigarette. You light one end of the cigarette and draw the smoke into your mouth through the other end. The smoke travels through the respiratory tract into the lungs and through the bloodstream to the brain and the other organs. Hell nah. Is smoking dangerous for ourselves and others? It's estimated that there are more than 7,000 chemicals in cigarette and around 70 of them can cause cancer. These include ammonia, carbon monoxide, arsenic, nicotine, cadmium, and the other harmful substance. In smoking, there are two terms for user: active smokers and passive smokers. Active smokers are those who smoke, and passive smokers are those who inhale the smoke from active smokers. Sounds funny, right? If you're serious about studying on campus but suddenly contract an illness from someone who's smoking, hell nah. So, in my opinion, smoking on campus should not be allowed because campus is a place for learning, not a place for long endurance competitions. Yeah, thank you for listening in my video. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back with me again. My name is Fatal Ahmad Rauf from class 15.1A.26 with student ID card number 15250279. And in this video, I will present about a question word. Of course, in a conversation or a communication, there will definitely be a question sentence. As usually, the question sentence begins with the question word, such as who are you, where do you live, and so on. So this time I will present what the question word is, then the type or question words, then the formula of a question sentence, and finally I will explain what a negative question is. What is question word? So the question words are words that found at the beginning of the question. For example, who are you and where do you live? As we can see that the words who and where are at the beginning of the sentence. Yeah. And next, we will discuss types of question words. First, we will discuss what and who, what used for specific information. For example, what are those people doing? And what is your favorite food? That means I want to know the thing. Right, next, who? Who is to ask people? For example, who is your favorite athlete? And who are those people over there? So I want to know the person. Next, we got when. When refers to time. For example, when are they going on vacation? When is your birthday? So I want to know the date or day. Next, we got where. Where used to ask about the place. For example, where's your home? Where's the nearest mosque? So I want to know the location. I want to know the exact location. So next we got why. Why used to ask about the explanation or the reason. Why are you laughing so loud? And why are you learning Python language? Why usually answered with the prefix because. Why are you learning Python language? Because there was a course that taught me to learn the Python language. Next we got which is used for choices. For example, which do you like? Which do you like? Coffee or tea? Which is the right answer, A or B? That means I want to know that thing between those choices. And next, we got how. How is for description or something the way it is done. For example, how do you go to school? And how do you feel today? How is often paired with other words to create specific question, first like how often, this as the frequency, like how often do you run? I run every single day. Next we got how much as the price of something. How much it is jacket? How many as about the quantity of countable nouns? How many shoes do you have? I have 2 shoes. I have 5 shoes. And the last one, I don't know. And next, how far? How far as the distance about something. How far is campus from here? About 2 kilos? About 15 kilos, maybe? Alright. We're now in the formula section. The formula of the question sentence is divided into two: subject questions and non-subject questions. The formula of subject question is a question word plus verb with a verb at s or es and an object and a question mark. For the subject question, you can only use what, who, or which. For example, who eats rice or who cleans these rooms. You can see here who is the question word, eats is the verb, and rice is the object. And secondly, there are non-subject questions. Non-subject questions have the formula. Question word plus auxiliary plus subject plus verb plus object and a question mark. For non-object question, you can use all the question word. For example, where did you buy that book? Or when will she finish her homework? As you can see here, where is the question word, did is the auxiliary, you is the subject, buy is the verb, and book is the object. Right? And finally, there is a negative question sentence. A negative question sentence is a question that includes the negative word like not, or a contraction like don't or isn't, and can be used to express surprise, check a belief, or make a suggestion. The formula for this negative question is a question word plus auxiliary plus not plus subject plus verb and a question mark. For example, why don't you like me? Why is for question word, do is for auxiliary, and not is for not. Not is a negative. You for subject, like is for verb, and a question mark. Right? That's all for me. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.